Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are going to be doing a what's new at the drugstore with a ton of new makeup, including the new e.l.f. Jen Atkin collab, which as of right now as I'm filming this is still available. If you're new here, welcome. My name's Taylor and this is a channel where we talk about all things affordable beauty. So if that interests you, then definitely click that subscribe button while you're here if you enjoyed this video. And with that, let's go ahead and get right into it. Starting with a product that I have actually already reviewed in one of these videos, but I want to share it again in a different way. So these new Makeup Revolution Eye Bright Illuminating Under Eye Concealers with vitamin C. I shared this previously and reviewed it kind of as a concealer as it's marketed, but on TikTok it went viral that this is a dupe for the Charlotte Tilbury Cream Contour. So I went and bought the shade Deep Caramel, and I have been using this to contour my face / bronze my face instead of using it as a concealer. And I've never personally used the Cream Contour by Charlotte Tilbury, but this works amazingly well as a contour. So I didn't love it so much as a concealer because I didn't feel like it was full enough coverage for what I need for underneath my eyes. But that's kind of what makes it so good as a bronzer / contour, because it blends out so easily. It's not super duper opaque. I mentioned on Instagram that I saw this was a dupe, and a lot of you guys asked me to try it out, so I wanted to let you know that I did, and big thumbs up. All right, moving on to the first product in the e.l.f. Jen Atkin collab. We have this Let's Elfing Do It face palette. This comes in light to medium and medium to deep. The packaging is really minimal and beautiful. It looks really high end. I love what they did with the packaging. The only thing that I'll say is that I wish it had a mirror. Every time I use this, I'm like wishing that there was a mirror right here and having to reach for another palette to have that mirror. And I think with a concept like this kind of like throw in your purse and on the go travel, when you have all the products you need in one, having a mirror there is really critical. So let's start with the eyeshadows. All of the eyeshadows in here are matte, and I love the eyeshadow colors that they chose. You've got this neutral matte set the lid type of shade. You've got a warm crease color, a kind of cool / neutral crease color, and then a deeper one. I can see myself using a combination of these on a daily basis. I've been mostly reaching for this one. I just find it to be, like I said, really neutral and not lean too far cool or too far warm, and I've really been loving it as a crease color. But these blend beautifully. They're super pigmented, and I actually paired it today with this new Milani Gilded eyeshadow stick. And so just a quick side note on this, and then we'll get back to the palette. This retails for $6.99. This is also new from Milani, and I honestly can't tell you what color this is. I've seen, the only negative reviews that I've seen about this product is how off the shade color from the pictures on Ulta's website is from the actual product that you get. So I'm gonna have to go back and just look at my order history to see what color I bought, because looking at the pictures it's really hard to tell. So just be aware of that. Maybe go in store for this one, or if you like the one that I have on, then you can actually see the color in action, but just kind of fair warning there. These go on so smoothly. They go on like butter, and when I swatched this on my arm to show you guys on Instagram, I had so much trouble getting it off my arm. And it's the same for the eyes. It just stays put, but it's also, at least for the first minute or so that it's on your lid, it's also really blendable and easy to work with. This reminds me of the e.l.f. shadow sticks. It's a little bit more opaque than the e.l.f. shadow sticks. I would say those are a little bit more natural, a little bit more sheer than this one, at least the color that I got. So you can use this as a liner, which I've done, just like a thick messy liner that you can smudge out. You can use this in your waterline for a really pretty pop of shimmer, and you can use it all over the lid like I did today. The only downside to this, at least so far, is that you have to sharpen it, and I don't like sharpening things, call me lazy, but I much prefer the packaging of the e.l.f. No Budge shadow sticks to the packaging of this one, but I still think it's a really nice formula. All right, and now back to this face palette. Like I said, I got the shade light to medium, and I feel like this bronzer shade is a little bit too light for me. It looks fine today because I laid down that liquid bronzer beforehand, but on its own, it's a really good bronzer for fairer skin tones, which is interesting because I feel like the highlighter in here is a little bit more geared toward medium skin tones. It's got that warm undertone. It's kind of a golden shade, so if you have a really fair complexion, this might not look the best on you. So it's an interesting combo that you've got something that I think is geared more for fair to light and something that's more light to medium within the same palette. But this blush shade big thumbs up. It's beautiful. It has a tiny bit of a sheen if you look really closely, but it doesn't translate at all to the face. So I absolutely love the eyeshadows. The bronzer, definitely can use it. It's a little bit light. Love the blush. And then the highlighter, like I said, if you have a super fair skin tone, just be aware it might be a little bit too deep for you. And I also just feel like it's more powdery and glittery than what I look for in a highlighter. It's not my favorite highlighter I've ever used. It's not terrible, but it's not my favorite. So kind of mixed feelings on this one. I definitely see myself using it quite a bit, especially those eyeshadows, but those are my honest thoughts. You'll see as I'm applying my makeup, I'm trying to work in as many of these eyeshadow palettes as I can, because I had the Cream Shadow, the e.l.f. palette, and 2 other eyeshadow palettes that I've been testing this month. The first is this Milani Gilded Getaway. This came out at the same time as this eyeshadow stick. It's really cute. It's like in the shape of a bus. It does have a mirror, which I love, and it does have some really pretty options in here. I don't feel like there's anything groundbreaking about this palette, and it retails for $20, which is definitely on the higher end in terms of price point. The pan sizes are pretty small. Really just got these 4 kind of satin finish colors, and the rest are shimmery shades. And like I said, it's a really pretty formula. I have nothing negative to say about the formula. I just, and I don't want to sound harsh, I just don't feel like this is anything super special. Like you have to get your hands on it because of the color story or because of the packaging or because of the price point. I just can't find something about this that makes it stand out to me to highly recommend it to you guys. All right, next up is the Catrice Disney collaboration. And I would just say if you're a Disney lover like I am, this is just a really fun thing to have in your collection as a collector's item. But again, nice big mirror. Everyone should have mirrors. I've been using this mirror a lot with that e.l.f. palette as my mirror. But this one I feel like is something to be excited about. There are 3 different formulas. You've got matte shades, you've got glitter shades, and you have shimmer shades. And it's just so pretty to look at because a lot of them have little designs. You've got little imprints in here of the villain. Just a really, really cool palette and some really pretty colors in here. This like olive green, you guys know I'm a sucker for a good olive green. I love that shade. This like glittery white for the inner corner highlight, that's what I have on today. Perfect. The only thing I feel like this palette is missing is a neutral matte shade. As far as mattes go, you've got these kind of pinky colors. You've got the black and green, so there's nothing super neutral in here, which can be a lot when you're working with all of these shimmers and glitters and then you don't have a neutral crease shade. You gotta commit to a serious look every time. So if I was looking for something negative to say, that would be it. But overall, I am really excited about this and I would highly recommend. All right, next up is a highlighter. And I actually used the e.l.f. highlighter on this side and this other highlighter on the other side. So I don't know if you guys can see a difference, but for me in person, I really can. And the other new highlighter I've been testing is the Revolution Glow Splendor Ultra Glow Highlighter in the shade So Glazed. This packaging, which Makeup Revolution has just been killing it with their packaging lately. It's beautiful. It's got this nice big mirror. It looks like a super luxury highlight, and I have to say it performs like one. I'm really excited about this formula because when I compare it to the e.l.f. one, the e.l.f. feels a lot dustier and a lot more glittery and flaky, whereas this just grabs onto your brush and then grabs onto your skin. It's not super dusty, very finely milled, and it's beautiful. I love this highlighter. I think this is probably my favorite Makeup Revolution highlighter that I've tried. All right, next up is the e.l.f. Jen Atkin Zero Effort Liner. And again, you have a liner you have to sharpen, which isn't my favorite, especially since this is like a square shape. We'll see how easy it is to sharpen. So I wasn't super excited about this, but when I applied it, I got really excited because it's very creamy and like it says, no effort. You can be so messy and just smudge this on your lash line and blend it out with a pencil brush and you can have your smoky look for the day. Like that's it. I got the brown shade. It comes with brown and in black, and I really like this shade of brown. It's a deep, deep brown shade. So if you're kind of on the fence about whether or not you would want the black or the brown because you think the brown might not give you enough definition, I'm here to tell you this shade of brown will give you almost the same definition as black. It's just a hair softer. So this one, big thumbs up in the collection. And then they also came out with this hair and brow pomade, which I think is really cool that you can use it both on your hair and your brows. I just washed my hair today, so it's unruly because I just like blow dried it. It's always unruly on day one, but I was really pleasantly surprised by this product. The brush on it is like a little comb, which is really unique. And what I love, which is not something I expected with the shape of the applicator, is that it does not apply too much product at all, because you have to kind of get in there to use the comb. I was worried that having to push that hard would apply way too much product, but it doesn't, because not a whole lot of product gets on here. So you can really push down and comb through your brows without loading on the product. So really impressed by this, and I love that it's a multifunctional product. And I think this is where the hairstylist in her is kind of shining in this collection. All right, next up is the lip product. They came out with 3 different shades. I got the shade Self-Made Pink. There's also a red shade and a brown shade. I almost went for the brown, but I always go for the brown, so I thought I'd switch it up and go with a little bit of color. Comes with a liner and a lipstick, which I love because you're not having to pair liners and lipsticks, and it also just makes it more affordable. And I'm not sure what I think about this color on me. I think it'll be a nice pop of color for the summertime. It's kind of a warmer peachy color, which I like, but you guys know I'm all about neutral, and it took everything in me not to layer a neutral lipstick over this. But it goes on really creamy. I think the formula is really creamy and buttery, but it is a matte formula, so it's gonna be a little bit drying. If you don't like matte lipsticks, you're not gonna like this one. But if you do, I wouldn't say this is a super drying formula. I think it's a really nice, rich one, but I did have Aquaphor on my lips for a couple of hours before I filmed this video, and I think doing that really helps in the application. It's also super long lasting. It's not transfer proof. Like, I kissed my daughter and it came right onto her face, but it is super long lasting. So another win for me in this collection. And then last but not least, they have this Mist Me face mist. This is meant to be used as a like primer water or as a setting spray to hydrate the skin. The mist on this thing, they nailed it. Maybe that's again where her hairstylist packaging of hair product is coming in handy, because they nailed it on this nozzle and this sprayer. That's the issue I've had with e.l.f. setting sprays in the past, is the mister, but this is, I mean, perfect. But it smells very strongly of coconuts. Maybe it's my like heightened pregnancy sense of smell, but this is strong enough to kind of bother me. It's also just not a product that I feel like is so critical to my makeup routine that I'm willing to get past the fragrance. So this is a pass for me in the collection. If you're looking for something to set your makeup, kind of do the same thing, I highly recommend the Physicians Formula Essence of Healthy. I've talked about this a bunch of times, but this is fragrance-free. It's got amazing ingredients. You can look up the ingredients, and it's a skincare product and kind of makeup finishing spray in one. So I use this both as a toner and as a finishing spray. This is a pass for me, but this is a good alternative. And that is everything. I feel like I kind of sped through that. So if you have any questions, let me know in the comments below, but I just want to get these reviews to you as efficiently as possible so you know whether or not this stuff is worth your money. So if you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. It really helps out my videos and my channel, and I will see you guys in my next one.